Hey, it is day 7 of my Read Proverbs With Me to Start 2025 series. This means we've now been reading Proverbs every single day for 1 week. I think that deserves a like something like that, probably, maybe a celebratory Sprite cranberry, something. This is a big accomplishment, and I'm excited to keep reading Proverbs throughout the month of January. If you don't know, this series is a series I'm doing in January where each day I'm reading one chapter of Proverbs and then sharing a video saying what I liked and what stood out to me about that chapter. And at the end of the month, we'll have gone through the whole book of Proverbs. So if you'd like to join me, I'd love for you to follow along. Today is day 7, so that means we read chapter 7. This is what stood out to me about it. If you notice, chapters 5, 6, and 7 are all warning chapters. Chapter 5 warns against adultery. Chapter 6 warns against folly and adultery. And chapter 7 warns against adultery. And something I've noticed from reading my Bible is that whenever the Bible repeats itself, it is very much worth listening to, and it is very important. So what stood out to me is just the earnestness, I think that's a word, of these last 3 chapters to warn the reader, to keep the reader away from doing things that would harm them or bring bad into their life. And so it stood out to me to really make sure that I heed these warnings and that I pay attention to them and hold on to them and keep them in my heart. As it says in verses 1 through 3 today, "My son, keep my words and store my commands within you. Keep my commands and you will live. Guard my teachings as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers. Write them on the tablet of your heart." We know that when we have wisdom, we will be protected from the things these chapters are warning us about. Because as it says at the end of verse 23 in this chapter, little knowing it will cost him his life. The man who committed adultery in this chapter committed it, little knowing it will cost him his life. So these chapters are put here to warn us so that we will know, so that we will have these warnings in our heart, and that we'll be able to stay away from it and avoid pain, but instead live at peace and live in favor. So that's what stood out to me about chapter 7 today. I'm seriously so thankful for each and every person that's joined me reading Proverbs. It means a lot to me, and I like being able to know that other people are out there reading this with me too. If you would like to join me in reading Proverbs in January, it's not too late. Just jump right in, read chapter 7 today, read chapter 8 tomorrow, because that is where we will be tomorrow. I can't wait to gain more wisdom with you. See you tomorrow for chapter 8.